Hey guys, it's Sam, and this is Wrestling Unlimited. As tonight was WWE SummerSlam from Cleveland Brown Stadium in, well, Cleveland, Ohio. Now, I'm just going to say it right now. I'm going to say it. I thoroughly enjoyed this show. I thought SummerSlam was a great show. I thought SummerSlam was super fun to watch. Now, the main event, I loved and hated at the same time. We'll get into all of that. Why? There was something they did that I liked and didn't like because we talked about it. I'll just say it. I loved Roman coming back and taking out Solo, but I didn't like the fact, and they played it up as if this wasn't it, but it did kind of make it feel like, well, Cody could only beat Solo if Roman came and helped him. So I didn't like that narrative as far as some people taking it and the way it kind of came off. But overall, start to finish, just a lot of good stuff on this show. I thought it was an easy show to watch. I thought it was one of the better WWE Premium Live events that we've seen in a while. Probably the best one since Mania, of course. And trying to think, probably one of the best non-Manias since we came back from COVID, maybe? Probably, if I'm thinking about it. One of the top tier pay-per-views, Premium Live events since we came back from COVID that's not a WrestleMania. Also, I do want to thank Omont, who subscribed with a tier 1 subscription. Really do appreciate that, Omont. Thank you for that. But with that, we got so much to talk about. All 7 matches and 57,000 people in attendance, which is crazy. It's probably not the real number, but, you know, the TKO era, they like to announce closer to that real number than Vince used to. But with that, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services, not YouTube. Dailymotion.com/PWU Unlimited. It's right here. We'll keep it down there so you guys know. And you can also listen on podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you're watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel, one of 2 different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get 1 free subscription for any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And I'd greatly appreciate it if you did right here for Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, if you can help us out or you miss any of this show, it will be posted over on our Dailymotion channel, dailymotion.com/PW Unlimited, right after we do complete it here live. Or you can listen to it on podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Also, remember, if you want to help us out, you can do so by going and subscribing at patreon.com/PW Unlimited. And finally, head over, well, not finally, because we have one other new thing, cool thing. Head over to the Epic Game Store. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming a free game or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use our code PW Unlimited at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. Maybe you're getting some new stuff for Fortnite. My mind just went blank for a second. They got some new Lego Fortnite Guardians of the Galaxy skins. You can go over there and get those. Maybe you claim in the free game, Lumberjack. My kids like that game. Go over there, claim that game. Use our code PW Unlimited, PWUNLIMITED, for all Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. And finally, you may want to go get yourself Roman Reigns' new T-shirt. Roman Reigns has a new T-shirt. Roman Reigns is the OTC. Yes, Roman Reigns returned tonight. New T-shirt alert, the OTC. And when doing so, when going and getting the new Roman Reigns T-shirt, use our link, which is in the live chat, or if you're watching later, in the description below, to support us here at Pro Wrestling Unlimited. We have the new Roman Reigns OTC shirt. And this is the wrong link. Give me a second. That's for the youth shirt. Give me 1 second to fix this. We'll get you the proper link. That is the link for the youth shirt. Let's go Roman Reigns. Where is the... There it is. get you guys the correct link. Put in the chat here, get the new Roman Reigns OTC shirt now. All right, we got the link here. Copy, paste, if it wants to go. Here we go. I think that's the right link. Bingo. All right, the link is in the live chat. Will be in the description also if you are watching later or listening on podcast services. Go get the new Roman Reigns t-shirt. Go get the new Roman Reigns. We'll show it again on the screen. The brand new, why is it not wanting to go? Roman Reigns OTC shirt. The original Tribal Chief. Big knock on Solo with that one. Roman Reigns wore this shirt for the first time tonight at SummerSlam. And if you want to get it, use our link that is in the live chat or the description below to support Pro Wrestling Unlimited. But with that, as far as SummerSlam does go, 7 matches in the show. So I actually wasn't planning on it, but ended up watching the pre-show. Because there was really like, it was leading up to SummerSlam today. It was a slow news day. I would say that. Kind of a slow news day. And what's the word I'm looking for? So once the pre-show was starting, I'm like, I'll throw it on and put it on in the background. I'll work on some other stuff I've got to work on. I got some photos I got to edit and so forth. And I'll just have it there. And I basically watched the whole thing. It's not like I was super preoccupied with the other stuff. And yeah, so I watched 5, let's see, hold on. That is, I'm trying to do the math here. If the main, I watched the pre-show, the main card, and the post-show. So if everything just ended now, say 11:15, 11:30 p.m., I started watching at 11, let me do the math here. I'm not the best with math. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I watched like almost 8 hours of WWE. And like, there was some random, we don't really need this stuff on the pre-show, but there was some other good stuff too. Like Michael Cole did officially announce that, I forgot his name now. Hold on. Joe Tessitore is going to be the new lead Raw announcer. Joe Tessitore will be leading Monday Night Raw starting on September 2nd. Michael Cole will be moving back over to Friday Night SmackDown, or wherever. I believe it's Friday Night SmackDown. I think USA's keeping it on Fridays. So Michael Cole will be staying on traditional TV with WWE, leading SmackDown's broadcast team. Joe Tessitore is going to lead the Raw broadcast team starting on September 2nd on the USA Network, transitioning, leading into, I want to say, the Netflix era on January 1st. So they did not state who the color is going to be for either broadcast. If we're going to get 2-man booths, 3-man booths, what we're going to do. All we know is Michael Cole is going to SmackDown to do play-by-play, and Joe Tessitore is going to be on Raw doing play-by-play there. And that was announced on the pre-show, so it's like a little bit of news on the pre-show. So that was interesting one. And then we had some other things. It was like interviews with this wrestler, interviews with that wrestler. Seth said this, Punk said that. Cool. Okay, whatever. As far as the main show does go, opened up with Jelly Roll performing America the Beautiful. And then Jelly Roll, then Triple H came out, just welcomed everybody to the show. No, God Bless America, not America the Beautiful. My bad. Welcomed everybody to the show. Did the, are you ready? I think they were ready. They were very ready. They used a very minimal stage setup, which I actually like. I like this because you could, I like using the smaller stages. Now, granted, big stages look awesome, but I like using the smaller stages because then you get more of the building and it just looks cooler because it looks bigger. The building looks bigger. Now, like I said, big sets look cool. WrestleMania 40 with the big XL. We've seen some really cool big sets in the past for other WrestleManias. But usually like these SummerSlams and these football stadiums, Usually just the minimalistic stuff. Or in the baseball stadiums for the Royal Rumble, super minimalistic. Got to get, less obstruction of seats, basically is what it is. Jelly Roll then performed Liar as an opening video played over it as well. And then The Miz welcomed us to SummerSlam. One cool thing that they added tonight, which they didn't use as much as I thought they were going to use, a referee cam. A couple of the referees, including Seth Rollins, had a camera that was like over their ear and then poking out and looking. I saw a couple referees. They really made a point of it with Seth. And I wish they would have used it more. Really cool. Not the best quality, but hey, for what it is, very awesome. So before we get into that first match, which was Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley, we do have some bit donations here. Where is it? Esports Gaming Rules here says the OTC Roman Reigns is back. We got a double betrayal on Judgment Day. Talk about a shift in WWE, now heading to the second half of 2024 for WWE and the moves for SmackDown and NXT and road to WWE and Netflix. Yeah, it's gonna be really cool. We've got, like I stated, SmackDown's going back in September to the USA Network. October 1st, we get NXT on the CW. So WWE's got their three big things they wanted. NXT's got their broadcast deal, their network deal. SmackDown's got their cable deal. And Raw's got their streaming deal. All coming within the next 6 months. As far as double betrayal of the Judgment Day, we can really break that down because that's a wild one. The big question now is, seems like both Rhea and Damian out. The two original members of the Judgment Day. The ones that started it with Edge. Booted. We're going to learn that this was Finn's game all along. Finn wanted his own club and needed to infiltrate the Judgment Day to bring a club in or something like that. And maybe, I don't know, Judgment Day turns into the Balor Club or something. Just speculation. Spitball idea. Yes, Esports Gaming Rule says there's a new Roman Reigns championship belt as well. Yes, that is true. That is very true. Just look and see if we got anything else here for a second before we move forward. So as we move forward, the opening match of the night was Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley. And I'm a sucker for these outdoor shows during the day still. When we get these outdoor shows and it's still light outside, I'm a sucker for it because I think it looks so cool. Like, the one that always brings me back is WrestleMania 31, because I was there and seeing most of that show in the sunlight because we were on the West Coast. But the one that I just always remember, the match that I thought looked coolest because it was in the sunlight, was Seth Rollins, Randy Orton. I always thought it's like, oh man, this match is so cool, and it's out during the day. Now, granted, Undertaker fought Bray Wyatt during the day, so his entrance kind of sucked. You get basically an Undertaker entrance with all the house lights still on, but that's a conversation for another day. Nothing they could have done about that. Because even if you wanted to just say, oh, push the match back and do it later, Roman and Brock were coming out, and it was still kind of sunny out. Not really sunny, but it was sunset. It was golden hour. And so regardless, it still would have been way more sunlight than you want for an Undertaker entrance. But Real Banks says, best RKO of all time, in my opinion. One of, yes. I think that one and maybe the Evan Bourne are the two best of all time. But regardless, Esports Gaming Rules with another bit donation says Triple H loves some Bullet Club influences. Even Finn is the OG leader of Bullet Club and AJ Styles is the second leader of Bullet Club. No. Finn is the OG leader. Then Tama Tonga took over. Then AJ kind of took over. But Tama Tonga's always been, since Finn left, it's like we've had other leaders, but it's really always been Tama Tonga. I mean, remember, I was there the night when the Bullet Club kicked the Elite out and beat the crap out of them. Remember Cody said last night on SmackDown, you and me got more history than people even remember or know about. Kind of alluding to that stuff. But The match starts here with Liv and Rhea. They play cat and mouse for the first 90 seconds or so until Ripley cut her off and clobbered her with a clothesline, half and half suplex and a headbutt. Ripley slammed Morgan into the turnbuckle and set up for a riptide, but Morgan slipped out and drove her shoulder first into the buckle. It was Ripley's previously injured shoulder that started to bug her here. Not a real injury. This is all storyline, playing up the injury. Dom checked on Rhea. Morgan then booted her shoulder, and she continued to target it in the ring. Morgan went for a dive, but Dom shoved Ripley out of the way, and Morgan wiped out Dom instead. Ripley then slammed her shoulder into the announce table. This woman, she literally just like shoulder checks the announce table, grabs her arm like Finn Balor at SummerSlam 2016 and yanks it, pops her shoulder back into place. I had someone tell me, Finn didn't do that. Well, fuck you. You didn't watch him win the first ever Universal title match? Anyways, Rhea makes a comeback while continuing to sell the shoulder. Ripley went for the riptide again, but Morgan reversed it into a DDT for a 2. Ripley applied a standing clover leaf, but Morgan used her legs to yank Ripley's shoulder first into the turnbuckle. This spot didn't look too good, but Morgan followed up the crucifix bomb, which also didn't really look all that good, and got a 2 off of it. Ripley then hit a one-armed power bomb and got a 2. Ripley was still favoring the injured shoulder, or the hurt shoulder. She repeatedly rammed it against the turnbuckle to kind of bring more life back to it, get the blood flowing, as they say. Morgan brought a chair into the ring, but Ripley booted her and it simultaneously, basically, and hit a riptide. Instead of going for a cover, though, Ripley grabbed the chair. Dom grabbed the chair and pulled it away from her, and Rhea got mad. But he's like, you use the chair, you lose. DQ. And so people thought that Dom was turning on Rhea, so the crowd kind of popped for it. And no, Dom was just trying to help her not lose in the moment. Ripley was pissed off, and this distraction allowed Liv Morgan to dropkick Ripley into Dom. Morgan followed this up with an Oblivion and got a near fall off it. Crowd went wild because they thought it was the finish. Dom then slipped the chair into the ring, distracted the referee, and was yelling, chair, look, the chair, but talking to Liv. Liv then would hit Rhea with another Oblivion on the chair, similar to what she did with Becky Lynch. Pushed the chair out of the way, went for the pin. Dom said, look, ref, look. Ref jumps down to count the 1, 2, 3. Woof. Liv Morgan retains the title. But that ain't all. Excuse me, that ain't all. So the match ends, and Dom grabs Liv, and they make out. Rhea is in the ring, pissed, confused, upset. The two then, arm in arm, Dom's got his arm around Liv. Liv's all like, and they walk back up the ramp together as Pat McAfee yells, Dom, you piece of shit. So, yeah. It's going to be a crazy one tomorrow or Monday on Monday Night Raw. Triple H was asked about this during the press conference, and he goes, see a lot of guys saying that they'd love to be Dominic right now, but I wouldn't, with Rhea being as mad as she is. So get where Triple H is coming from on that one. So we go to the Judgment Day Clubhouse, and you just hear Damian Priest barge in. Where is he? Where's Dom? And they're all just like, whoa. We saw what happened too, but we don't know where he is. And Priest is just looking around. He looks at Finn and goes, you know about this? Huh? And Finn's just like, whoa, hey, no. They talked Priest down, calmed him down. They said, hey, you got a match later. You need to cool it. You need to let it go. And he's like, I want to know where Dom is so we can kill him. Balor, McDonough, and Carlito were like, we'll go find him for you. Don't worry about it. Balor then said, thanks for the trust before leaving. Because that was a quick, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, what's the word I'm looking for? Accusation to Finn. Because he just walks in, says, where's Dom? They say, I don't know. And he looks straight at Finn and goes, you know about this? You know this is going to happen? And so it's like, Finn was like, oh, you accuse me of setting this all up? Which he might have, I don't know. And so that right there, just we've seen slight tension over the last couple of weeks, but that really solidified some more tension. This then led to, well, the first match was, I got the time for it right here. It was 15 minutes and 53 seconds. Moving forward, the Intercontinental Championship on the line. Braun Breaker defeating Sami Zayn to win the title in a 5-minute and 40-second match. Braun immediately went for a spear early on, but Zayn jumped over him, and Braun went shoulder first into the post. Zayn followed this up with a flip dive. Braun then dodged a haluva kick and tried a press slam, but his shoulder gave out. Braun managed to turn Zayn around with a clothesline anyways. Braun then did his run up the ropes Frankensteiner for a 2. Braun then talked trash, so Zayn smacked him and hit a clothesline. Braun then blocked an attempted Blue Thunder Bomb and countered it with the back body drop. Braun then tried a flying bulldog, but Zayn countered with a Blue Thunder Bomb for a 2. Zayn then hit an exploder suplex into the turnbuckle and went for an haluva kick, but Braun nailed a spear. Braun ran the ropes and hit another spear for the decisive 1, 2, 3 and new Intercontinental Champion, Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker's father, Rick Steiner, and his uncle, Scott Steiner, were up in the crowd watching, and they were very excited once this happened. They were up there with other WWE legends like Diamond Dallas Page. I think they were up there with Braun's girlfriend, Izzy Dame. Eventually, X-Pac and Kevin Nash were up there as well. So, really, really cool. Really, really cool. I think it's a little overdue. I think, if I'm going to be completely honest, should have happened in Money in the Bank. I think Braun should have won the belt at Money in the Bank. So then we see Stephanie McMahon in the crowd. And Pat calls her boss. Good to see you, boss. Yeah, Corey, you should be standing up clapping for Stephanie. Something like that. And I'm like, oh, okay. So Sapp asked Triple H about Stephanie's status with the company in the post-show press conference and said, Stephanie got an actual role here? What's going on? We got to see her more. And he's like, Stephanie loves this. Sometimes it's harder to love this with things that happen, but she loves this. This is what she grew up in. And right now, no, she's mom, but in the future, who knows? Teasing maybe she does come back. I don't know. He's like, but when I'm sitting there on the couch, coming up with ideas, planning things out, who's right there next to me? She is. Because she loves this. She loves this stuff. So I always assumed Stephanie would eventually return. I don't know in what role, what capacity, how frequent. Like, I don't think we ever see Stephanie back on screen as like an on-screen character. Maybe she comes in and just does like publicity stuff for the company. Maybe like they go do media stuff and Stephanie's there talking up the company. Maybe she goes and does conferences like we've seen her do some women's and sports conference talks before. Maybe she does some more stuff like that. So I could see her being an ambassador and like a public relations face at times, maybe like what she used to do. Esports Gaming Rule says, do you think Gunther will have a long title reign only to lose to John Cena at WrestleMania 41 in Vegas so Cena can break Ric Flair's record? Well, this is a tough one. I don't think Cena fights for the belt at WrestleMania. Cena has stated, because he was asked this, I'm not just going to come in here and demand title matches, go in here and ask for shots and whatnot. I'm going to earn things. I'm going to start at the bottom. I got to win the Royal Rumble if I want to fight at WrestleMania for the title. I want to fight for the title at WrestleMania. I got to maybe win Elimination Chamber. And so we'll see how it all does go. But I just, there's something like it's not going to be like I see Cena getting a shot and potentially winning a 17th title. But I could be wrong here, but I don't have that at Mania feeling, if you know what I mean. So moving forward, we had a 12-minute match with Logan Paul and LA Knight. This match was fun, other than LA Knight almost dropping Logan on his head from the top rope. Logan Paul came out first, the United States champion. And there was a guy standing there, security on the back of his jacket, and he's just standing there. Logan then pulls the hood off, and it's MGK. Machine Gun Kelly. Machine Gun Kelly is out there with Logan Paul. LA Knight comes out next to a huge ovation from the crowd. He first comes and we see him on a video where he's backstage getting out of the Prime Hummer. He says, I love the car, but it's kind of hard to see out these windows, so I'm going to give you a little hand. And he grabs this long-ass pipe and he goes to shove it into the driver's side door window. Don't break. So he, boom, second time, breaks, hits it a couple more times to fully break it, and there we go. He then comes to the ring. And early on, Knight smashed Paul's face against the announce desk as they went to the outside pretty quickly. And he also slammed a bottle of Prime in his face as well. Knight then gave Paul a neck breaker on the table, which didn't break. And they rolled into the ring to officially start the match. There was a modest "Fuck you, Logan" chant from the crowd, but that was kind of handled quickly. From there, for the third match in a row, somebody went shoulder first into the post early on. Knight was the victim of it this time. Knight then fought back and repeatedly booted Paul to the sound of "yeah" every single time he hit him. Knight then hit a side effect and a step-up diving elbow for a 2. Paul then followed this up the springboard clothesline and an impressive springboard moonsault to the outside. Paul then followed with a right hand for a near fall. With Paul on the top rope, Knight leapt to the top rope and gave him what looked like it was supposed to be a delayed stalling suplex, but he lost his balance and fell straight back and then almost dumped Logan on his head. Paul then raked the eyes, which the referee did not see. Knight came back with a baseball slide. Some of Paul's buddies were talking trash at ringside in the front row, so Knight yanked them over the barricade and stomped on him. Paul then slammed Knight into the post. MGK then gave Paul the brass knucks on a chain. Paul then got up on the apron, but the Knight was like trying to put him in a choke / pull him up over the ropes to get him into the ring, and that's when he popped him with the chain. He then threw the chain down, got in the ring with a buckshot lariat, but didn't get the pin there. Went for the buckshot. Well, actually, no. I'm wrong. He hit the knuck shot, then went for the buckshot. Knight ducked the buckshot into a BFT and pinned him 1, 2, 3. LA Knight is your new WWE United States Champion. And so, speaking of LA Knight was in the press conference later in the night, and he's like, hey, what are we doing? We got to get this going. I've had a couple too many of these hard lemonades, Mike's Harders. And he's like, I'm just kidding. I've been drinking water. But this man wasn't Jey Uso Fastlane drunk or high. I don't know. We'll just say inebriated. But you can tell this guy was either having or about to be buzzing. So night one, crowd exploded for that 3 count. And yeah, LA Knight, your new United States champion. Then we got a Manscaped promo video that was just disturbing on all means. So we see Baron Corbin walk into this room, and Apollo Crews is getting his head shaved. And they got this like Manscaped thing, and they're shaving the bald head of Apollo Crews. And Alpha Academy walk in. And they're like, ooh, Manscaped, we love this stuff. And Otis grabs the beard trimmer. He's like, the beard trimmer. And Maxine's like, Otis, wait, you may not want to do that. And then he's like, oh, we got this here too. And he goes like, put it down by his balls. And she's like, ooh, Otis, what are you doing? And he's like, this is the trimmer and da-da-da. And he says some other things. And then he just starts trimming the belly hair. And Maxine's like, oh, Otis, what? And Baron looks at Cruz and just goes, this is getting a little awkward. We need to leave. And it ends with just a one shot of Otis's belly, and he's just going like this with the trimmer thing. What the fuck? Weird. Also, she's still calling him Otis? That was like Maxine model day kind of stuff. And if she's still been, tell me. I haven't noticed. Moving forward, we had Nia Jax versus Bayley. Match went 12 and a half minutes. Really good match. These two worked very well together. You can tell they were really working hard. And so Bayley tried to fight off the bigger Jax early on, but Jax dropped her with a Samoan drop to take over. Jax's offense included a stink face, but Bayley responded with a back suplex. Jax then missed a leg drop on the apron, and Bayley responded later with a guillotine in the ring. The announcers reminded us that she once beat Jax with that move. They also reminded us that their rivalry, their I don't think they use the word hatred for each other, but like their back and forth, it's like 10 years now, going all the way back to NXT. Because you remember when Bayley was the 4-horsewoman that didn't get called up, she won the NXT Women's Championship, and early on in that title run, had a feud over the title with Nia where she beat Nia a couple times. Also didn't know it till the post-show press conference. Nia said that this is the first SummerSlam card she's ever been on. Wild. So Jax missed a leg drop at one point on the apron, and Bayley responded later with a guillotine in the ring. The announcers ordered that part. Jax countered it this time and hit a senton and a leg drop for a 2. Jax at one point missed a diving leg drop, and Bayley hit a Bayley to belly for a 2. Bayley tried a quarter tackle, and Jax hit a STO. Jax followed this up with an annihilate her, but Bayley kicked out, and Jax was shocked. Bayley then dodged a charge for the 4th straight match as someone went into the post. Bayley then tried a suicide dive, but Jax caught her and hit her with a Samoan drop. Jax then went to the middle rope, but Bayley got under her and hit a very impressive looking powerbomb. Like, not just like she pulled her off and threw her down off the ropes. No, Bayley came up, grabbed her, walked out of the corner. Bomb. Great looking spot. Great looking spot. This woke the crowd up. Not to say that they were like dead, but they were good for the first part of the match. Then they kind of leveled off, and then this brought them back up. Crowd starts chanting, holy shit. Bayley went for the diving elbow, but only got a 2 off of it. And then we hear, it's Tiffy time. And out comes Tiffany Stratton with her briefcase and a referee. We're supposed to think that she's trying to cash in. Tiffany Stratton runs down to the ring like she's going to cash in. She jumps up on the apron, and Bayley knocks her down. Bayley then went back after Jax, but Jax caught her with a couple power bombs, I want to say. I think it was 2. I just wrote power bombs. Jax hit consecutive annihilators. Literally, she hit one, stood right back up, climbed up, bump, hit another one, and pinned her 1, 2, 3. Nia Jax is your new WWE Women's Champion. It is 6 years between her singles title reigns. Like, in that time, she's won the women's tag titles, like with Shayna Baszler and stuff. But from the last time she had a singles championship to now, 6 years. And some may say, she was gone for a little while. Not really that long. She wasn't really gone for that long. So, very cool to see Nia Jax win the title here. Everybody has praised Nia since her return, saying she's almost a different person as far as like her work ethic and being better in the ring, and all. Everyone praises Nia. Everyone loves Nia. Everybody praises Nia. So very happy for Nia. She won Queen of the Ring and then won this here. Jackson Stratton happily celebrated, and commentary thought, was it all a ruse? Was she not trying to cash in? Was it just to distract Bayley? Jax then went to ringside and hugged her mom and The Rock's mom, because Rock's mom is always there for her. So, now we get the big match. The match that most people were here to see. Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. Seth Rollins as your special guest referee. Rollins came out wearing sparkly pants and a big-ass robe kind of deal. And so they're like, we knew Seth was going to have some sort of a wacky outfit. And Corey Graves goes, yeah, but just think when he takes that coat off, what he's wearing under it. And it wasn't really anything too over the top. Just a bedazzled, bejeweled up kind of regular ref shirt. Also, in that ref shirt, Seth cut the arms off. His arms look huge. Huge. This match itself went 17 minutes. And Seth's like, got both guys in the ring. He's like, Drew, you need to stand right there. And Drew's like, just ring the goddamn bell. And he's like, no, stand right there. And Drew's like, all right, I'll move over here. He's like, no, I said stand right there. And Seth's fucking with Drew. And then Punk starts walking over. He goes, back it up, back it up. And he finally backs them up. And he's just like, looks out. And he puts his arms out and he's soaking up the crowd. And he turns around. He's looking around and everything. And they're both like, just ring the dang bell. And finally he goes, ring the bell. And they immediately run at each other. And Seth goes, ah! And he's got to run away before they collide him. So they charge at each other and they just start throwing shots. It's like a Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn rivalry match. Punk got the better of it early on and booted McIntyre in the corner for more than like 5 seconds. So, Seth pulls him out. Seth's like, hey, I'm counting. You got to get out of there. I'm pulling you out. Punk gets mad at him and Seth's like, hey, I'm the ref. I told you to stop. McIntyre returns the favor until Rollins then pulls him out. Punk was the aggressor for a little while here, and there was a fight that spilled to the outside. Rollins then just let them go and didn't even bother counting. Punk was in full control at one point until McIntyre swept his leg out from under him on the apron, just like Punk did to him on the announce table at WrestleMania. Loved that callback. McIntyre swung Punk repeatedly into the announce table and then drove Punk into the steel steps. McIntyre hit a vertical suplex, and Punk kicked out before even a 1 count. Part of that was Rollins, not really counting right away, taking his sweet, sweet time. Rollins was surprised McIntyre went for such an early cover. McIntyre then hit an overhead suplex, and Punk kicked out again before a 1. McIntyre hit a powerbomb for a 1 count and a sit-out powerbomb for a 2. McIntyre then grabbed a chair and advised Rollins to take it away if you don't want me to use it, and he really didn't do anything. So then when he went to swing it, that's when Seth grabbed it, a la shades of 1997 SummerSlam. Basically, he didn't tell him yes or no, and then when he went to use it, he was like, oh, he's really going to use it. Never mind, nope. So they went for another 1997 reference. McIntyre shoved Rollins, so Rollins went to hit him with a chair, but he ducked and almost hit Punk instead. Punk, though, avoided it. Punk used a roll-up, but Rollins was too late to make the cover at all. McIntyre then went for a Claymore, but Punk countered and kicked him instead. Punk did his usual comeback, blew a kiss to Rollins, and hit a diving elbow for a 2. Punk applied an Anaconda device, but broke the hold to retrieve his family bracelet that was laying in the ring that Drew had dropped. The bracelet dropped, and Punk went for it. And I love this as a callback, too. So, the whole thing when Drew had the briefcase the championship, and anyways, the whole story was Drew won the title at WrestleMania, but he was more concerned about gloating to CM Punk and what CM Punk thought and everything than being the champion. And that cost him the belt when Punk attacked him and Priest came out and cashed in. Well, now in this match, Punk was preoccupied. All he wanted was that bracelet back at one point. The bracelet dropped, and Punk went to pick it up. But the extra time allowed McIntyre to hit him with a Claymore for a near fall. Punk then called for a GTS, but let go upon seeing Rollins wearing the bracelet. He's like, why do you have my bracelet on? What are you doing? And Seth's just like, it was lying in the ring and I picked it up. I just picked it up. I got to clear the ring. And Punk's getting all kinds of agitated. Doesn't believe the excuse. McIntyre then clobbered him from behind, and he sent Punk into Rollins. Punk then hit McIntyre with a GTS, but Rollins was out of the ring and couldn't go for the cover. Rollins then got back in, but McIntyre had kicked out already. Punk then got in his face for the slow count. Rollins screamed at him and told him, not everything is about you. He told Punk, focus on McIntyre. Rollins then said, quote, it's not always about you, asshole. So Punk dropped him with a GTS. Punk responded, quote, it's not always about me, but it's never about you. Punk put on the bracelet. McIntyre then kicked Punk right in the balls as a callback to Scotland. He then hit a Claymore. McIntyre screamed at Rollins to make the count. And he finally did, slowly but surely, got that 3 count as Punk was down. So Drew McIntyre does pick up the victory, and then afterwards, he takes the bracelet again. right over Punk, shows him the bracelet, says, I'm wearing your goddamn bracelet. And there we go. So I've seen some people not like this match. I've seen some people say it was a letdown. Now, I would say that I expected it to be more back and forth than it was. I feel like Drew was a little more dominant than I expected. Not to say that I didn't like it. I just felt like it was going to be more of an even match. And I felt like at portions, Punk was just getting his ass beat to the point where he's just laying there, dead almost. And that brings me to a callback in this match. Not a callback, but a spot from Seth, where when Drew went for that early pin, Seth's like, thought you said you were going to kill him first. He's still moving. I thought that was funny. But we know that this is going to lead to more. Whether that's a Punk Rollins match, another McIntyre Rollins match, another Punk McIntyre match. I mean, McIntyre still got the bracelet, so we'll see how it goes. They then cut to a suite featuring a bunch of WWE legends watching the show. They had Rick Steiner, Scott Steiner, DDP, X-Pac, Kevin Nash, and then it looked like Izzy Dane, the girlfriend of Braun Breaker, up there hanging out. Also, speaking of the legends being there, Cody brought up something in the post-show press conference that was awesome. So Cody talked about how, you've got to treat people certain ways. And he said, Byron and everybody got a text today. There's like an app that everybody has, and they got a message on this. I got a text that said, hey, all these legends are going to be here. And he's like, and it wasn't a thing to say, all these legends are going to be here, so you need to show them respect. You need to go up to them, find them, say hi, shake their hands. No, it was all these legends are going to be here today. And there was a paragraph bio about each of them in case you didn't know. And he goes, and there may be some, like the younger people here, like Tiffany Stratton, even though she may know who they are, that may not know everything and whatnot. This is good for them to know, hey, this is why these people are important. This is why they are legends, why they are here, why they should be treated with the utmost respect. So I thought that was really cool. Sports Gaming Rules with another bit donation says, what Drew, Punk, and Seth are wearing give us SummerSlam 97 vibes. Kinda, because I wouldn't say anyone was Undertaker. I mean, I guess Drew was Undertaker, but he wasn't really wearing Undertaker-inspired gear, I felt. Now, Seth had the ref shirt, so he was Shawn, and Punk wore his Brett gear, which he's worn before, his black, white, and pink. He's worn that plenty of times in the past. So as we move forward in a 16.5-minute match, it was Damian Priest defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Gunther. I loved this match. I thought this match was great. It was just two big men beating the crap out of each other. Now, you can't say big meaty men beating meat because they're not bigger, but it's like two big hoss, just strong bastards chopping and dropping each other. To the point where Gunther was bleeding from the chest. And when you see his chest afterwards, holy crap, I don't remember someone that got that good on Gunther before. So, they ran at each other early on, kind of even. And Priest used a Hurricane Rana to bring Gunther off the top. And he followed it up with the Falcon Arrow for a 2. They exchanged chops and Gunther's chest began to bleed. Priest then dropped him with a kick. Gunther tried to fight back with some chops, but Priest's kicks were too much. Gunther avoided a stinger splash, and Priest went face first into, the ring post. Every match had a into the ring post spot, basically. Gunther then followed this up with a drop kick and a powerbomb for a 2. Gunther tried chops again, but Priest hit a South of Heaven chokeslam and only got a 2 off of it. Trying not to burp right in the microphone. The crowd then distracted themselves with something, not really sure what it was, but you could tell people were looking away. Gunther finally blocked Priest's kicks and captured him with a suplex. Gunther followed this up with a clothesline and got a 2 off of it. Gunther's chops finally started to make an impact. This is when Finn Balor would show up. He's like, let's go, Damian. Yeah, Damian, you got this. Gunther was annoyed, so he booted Finn at ringside. Literally, Finn's standing here. He's looking up at the ring, and he's like, ah, yeah. And then Gunther's like, what are you doing out here? And he just kicks him right through the freaking ropes. This pissed off Priest, though, who rose to his feet and dropped the straps. Gunther was then hit with consecutive clotheslines, knocking him down. Priest then went for a razor's edge, but Gunther got to his feet. Priest hit a South of Heaven, but then this was kind of weird, but it set up a spot because Gunther didn't land properly. He hit the South of Heaven, but Gunther was still kind of in the middle of the ring. Gunther was supposed to hit it and kind of like roll to the ropes, but Damien had to roll him to the ropes, which didn't look all that good. Because he rolled him to the ropes, went for the lazy pin, not the I'm going to lay down and grab your leg, hook it. It's the I'm going to lay down with my back on you and kind of hook the leg. And so he's not looking behind him. It all makes sense. So he's looking towards commentary. He's laying on Gunther. The ref goes 1, 2. All of a sudden, Gunther's leg's up on the ropes because Finn put it there. But because Priest is not looking behind him, he didn't see any of this at first. He gets to his feet and the ref goes, his foot's on the rope, his foot's on the rope. Priest's like, okay, I get it. But then Priest sees the big screen. Priest sees the replay. Priest sees Finn do it and gets pissed. Priest was about to go after Finn as he grabbed him through the ropes, but then Gunther grabbed him with a sleeper hold. Priest did fire up out of it, and the crowd cheered loudly for Damian Priest. Priest then used the cradle and got a 2 out of it. Priest then went to grab a Finn, and he got him by the throat this time as the crowd cheered big, but Gunther then caught him again with a sleeper hold. Gunther racked that sleeper hold in till eventually Damian Priest passed out, and the referee called for the bell. Gunther is the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Finn is at ringside just... No, I didn't do the right face, but like, like just like, I fucking screwed you. Fuck you, guy. Kind of look. Like, Damien was not happy. So you've got Damien screwed by his own people. Rhea screwed by her own people. Ooh, boy, I can't wait for Raw on Monday. Gunther then celebrated with a title in the ring. He then went over to ringside and kissed his wife, Ginny, and then hugged a couple of other people, I guess friends or whatever, and celebrated on the announce table, like he used to do with the IC title. Very cool. Very cool to see Gunther as the new World Heavyweight Champion. I love it, love it, love it. Remember, guys, if you do want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, you can do so by donating some Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, if you want to support the channel, you can do so with either a tiered subscription or Amazon Prime with Twitch Prime. Link them together, and then boom, you get a free subscription here on Twitch. Also, don't forget to head over to our Daily Motion, dailymotion.com/PW Unlimited, and subscribe over there. That way you get to see all of our news videos, because I want to keep continuing to do that. YouTube won't let me do it right now. Also, kudos to Kind of Funny. They had their Twitch channel hacked tonight and quickly got that taken care of. The Miz and R-Truth come out, and they announce the attendance, 57,791. This then led to Austin Theory and Grayson Waller coming out and insulting them and Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll was with them. Truth thought that they were Robert Gibson and Ricky Morton, and thought one of them, quote, got their eye fixed. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing here? Jelly Roll's in the ring, and he starts hitting with chairs. Very light shots, of course. And helped Truth and Miz wipe everybody out. Jelly Roll, Miz, and Truth then did the 5-knuckle shuffle, and Jelly Roll gave Austin Theory a great-looking chokeslam. Theory went up and took an awesome bump for it. Like, kudos to Austin Theory for making Jelly Roll's one-arm chokeslam look amazing. People were like, damn, Jelly Roll gave a good chokeslam. No, Austin Theory gave himself a good chokeslam, make Jelly Roll look good. This then leads us to our main event. Bloodline rules with the undisputed WWE Championship on the line in a 30-minute match, 29.5-minute match. Solo comes out first, all by himself. But we know it's Bloodline rules, so he won't just be by himself. Camera then cuts to Cody in his bus. He walks out and is handed a leash for his dog, Pharaoh. Cody gets very emotional, and we are told that this is the last time Pharaoh will be coming on the road with Cody. Cody said in the post-show press conference, Pharaoh's 13 years old, doesn't need to be traveling as much. And basically at home, he's Libby's dog more than he's mine now anyways. Which I get that. Trust me, I know that all too well. So Cody's getting all emotional, and he stops at one point to kiss Pharaoh, and he keeps walking, and then all of a sudden, he stops. But the camera keeps panning back to show Arn Anderson is standing there. Crowd pops. Arn warned him, you got a target on your back. And Arn still had some influence. So I'll just let you know, you got some friends on the way. Fans enchanted for Cody as he finally handed off Pharaoh, made his way through Gorilla, and was handed the skull mask. He put the mask on and walked out through the entranceway. He got down on one knee, did a little thing, and then took the mask off and walked down to the ring. Took his time to get down to the ring, and I'm like, this all feels very weird. Is Cody losing? Please don't tell me he's losing. And then, well, Cody won. No. We'll get to it. I don't think he should have had the help, but whatever. The Roman help. Anywho. The match begins, and Solo had a counter for almost everything Cody tried to throw at him early. He planted Rhodes with consecutive Samoan drops, and Rhodes responded with a Cody cutter. Rhodes tried to hit Dustin's drop down uppercut, but Solo grabbed the arm and stopped it. Solo then caught a disaster kick attempt as well and hit a sit-out powerbomb for a 2. Traded counters until Sikoa hit a spinning Solo for a 2. Rhodes tried to fight back, but Sikoa hit another Samoan drop. Rhodes was caught upside down in the ropes, so Sikoa hit consecutive headbutts, but then on the last one, Cody finally pulled himself up and avoided it. He also avoided it and hit a moonsault. Rhodes then followed this up later with a superplex. They went back and forth for a little while until Cody finally hit a crossroads, but he didn't really get much out of it. And we're 16 minutes into this match now, about halfway through. And it was not till this point that the match finally became Bloodline rules with people coming out and interfering. Tama Tonga comes out first. Tangaloa then comes out first. And we're like, okay, where's Jacob? Jacob not out yet. This, though, leads to Kevin Owens coming out. Owens runs down, but, well, got beat up by the Bloodline. Randy Orton then comes out next. Orton gave Tangaloa an RKO, and Owens gave Tama Tonga a stunner. Owens then gave Sikoa a senton, and Rhodes hit a crossroads. Solo kicked out. Barely, though. Owens and Orton then chased the Bloodline away, leaving just Cody and Roman. Or Cody and Roman, so used to saying that. Cody and Solo in the ring alone. Rhodes figured, all right, we're good. I'm going to use a weapon. So he grabbed the steel steps and he clobbered Solo in the face with it a couple times. He went for one more, a third one, and, well, Solo hit him with a spear instead. Got a 2 off of it. Sikoa then set up the steel steps in the corner and tried a running hip attack, but Rhodes moved and Sikoa crashed into the steps. Rhodes then hit consecutive crossroads, but Jacob Fatu would show up to wipe out Cody. Fatu would then hit a moonsault and place Solo on Cody for the cover, but Cody kicked out. Fatu then super kicked Rhodes a few times and then placed him on the announce table. Jacob then climbs to the top rope. Does the big splash where he goes from the top rope to the announce table and immediately grabs his leg. Immediately starts rolling around, tries to stand up once, can't. Legit injured. Or hurt in some form. He's so pissed off that he grabs one of the desk chairs and throws it, and Solo tries to help him up, and he's just pissed. He's mad. So they say, oh, Jacob, we're going to leave you right there. Finish this match. So Jacob Fatu is kind of down and out. I don't know what more he was supposed to do, but he couldn't do anything else. Solo throws Cody in the ring, hits a big Uso splash, and gets a near fall off of it. Rhodes hits a Cody cutter off the top, and we hear, doof, doof, whoa. Roman Reigns comes out. Huge pop, new music. It's the beginning of the music only. It's the, oh, but it never goes into the, ba-da-dum, 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 bum, 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 ba-da-dum, 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 bum, bum, bum. You know, that part. We never got that. It was all the beginning, more just the choir. Oh, and I'm like, what are we doing? No. Usually I'm not a music guy. I care about the entrance themes. But I like Roman's theme because Roman themes, you hear that and you just go, this guy's a fucking badass. But Roman's music hits. Crowd stirs. Roman walks out and this place erupts like Jesus himself walked out. Roman Reigns wearing a brand new t-shirt, says OTC, Original Tribal Chief. Crowd starts chanting, holy shit. Roman runs to the ring at one point, hits Solo with a Superman punch, hits Solo with a spear, leaves the ring. Cody stares down Roman in the aisleway, never taking his eyes off of Roman. Grabs Solo, hits him with one crossroads, and immediately pins him, still eye to eye with Roman. Big pop for Cody winning. Rhodes and Reigns again kind of acknowledge each other. And that's how the show ends. Roman walks off. Cody celebrates. And there we go. That was SummerSlam, ladies and gentlemen. A really, really, really good show. Let's get this poll going here in the Twitch chat really fast. What did you think of SummerSlam? I liked it. It was all right. I didn't like it. If you are watching live on Twitch, hit up that poll really fast. Let me know what you thought. Esports Gaming Rules with another bit donation says, we are glad Double A is back in WWE. So Cody was asked about Arn, and he was like, hey, I hope to see Arn more. I hope Arn's with me. So I don't know if this is an official tease or anything, but kind of teased maybe Arn being his manager or at least like being with him in certain occasions. So that'd be cool. That'd be really cool to see Arn and Cody together on screen. And that's when he brought up the whole Legends thing in the text message, and they got a little paragraph bio about them and this and that. But regardless, I thought SummerSlam was great. I thought it was easy to watch. I thought it was all fun and great. I can't say enough how much I really, really enjoyed this show. So give me 1 second here. I thought I got a Jacob Fatu update, but I didn't. The only Jacob Fatu update we did get was he needed to be helped to the back. He was limping, and Triple H said, wrote it down. I want to get it for you correctly. Triple H said in the post-show press conference, Jacob Fatu is banged up a little bit. Hope it's not anything seriously, but his leg was bugging him. So hopefully it's nothing serious. I did like a slow-mo thing of the spot, and like when Jacob comes, so say like, how do I do this? Say like this is Jacob Fatu flying in, and this leg hits here, and it kind of looks like it bends the wrong way a little bit when it hits the edge of the announce table right before it breaks. And let me see if I can get my leg up here high enough. Probably not. No. So it looks like he hits shin, not far under the knee. But when Jacob grabbed the leg, he grabbed it more calf. So we'll see how it is. Get an update. See what they say. Hopefully Jacob Fatu's not injured. Hopefully he doesn't need to take any time off, because that would be devastating. They're pushing this man as the most dangerous man in all of WWE. And if he's hurt already, that's not good. But it's like they're pushing this guy like he's the scariest, most dangerous. You don't want to mess with guy in all the company. Like as ruthless as anybody. Because Cody even said it. I don't know how much I believe it. I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm not scared of you either. I should be. But let me see if there's one more thing. See if there is another update on. No, I don't see any updates on Jacob yet. So we'll see. If we do hear anything, we will let you guys know on our Twitter, Threads, or dailymotion.com/PW Unlimited. But as far as the polls do go, as far as the Threads poll does go, 93% liked the show, 7% didn't. One of the comments here says, crazy good. Looking at the Twitter X poll, 95% liked the show, 2% thought it was just all right, and 1% didn't like it. First says, incredible show. Then this one says, RIP Jacob Fatu leg. But he's just, I don't know. They put a screenshot, but his leg looks fine in the screenshot. It's right from before you even grab the leg. So, I don't know. And finally, looking over here on Twitch, everybody that voted liked the show. With that, guys, I want to say thank you for joining us here. If you're watching live, twitch.tv/PW Unlimited. Maybe you're watching later, dailymotion.com/PW Unlimited, or listening on podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. With that, guys, have a great rest of your night, and we'll see you back here live on Monday for Monday Night Raw. Have a good one, guys.